Hi, I'm BJ, and this is the Arcane Alienist Podcast. Okay, it's day 30 of RPG a Day 2023. I'm only going to have one prompt because I'm all caught up, and it's 30th of August. The prompt for today is an obscure RPG you have played. An obscure RPG. That's obscure. Probably the most obscure one is a game called, I think it's called Fighter Mage Rogue. Um, and it's a D&D style game, and it's just the idea that there are really three core archetypes, uh, warriors, spellcasters, and rogues. And so it just really your character is one of those three things, and you use very simple feats to just add on to that. Um, that may be the most obscure one, and of course you can, when you level up, you can take a level of a different thing and kind of blend the three together to kind of build the kind of character you want. But it's all based around just those three archetypes and powers and abilities associated with those three archetypes. But it'll get you, you know, most of the tropes that you want out of a D&D style game. Um, Another one is True 20. I don't know how many of you guys out there have ever played True 20 or looked at True 20. That was an effort to create a generic system based on the D20 system back kind of in the 3.5 era. That the Blue Rose, the original Blue Rose role playing game, I think was um, kind of where they the first it was in there, and then they kind of pulled it out to make True 20. Same thing with Monsters and Masterminds, or Mutants and Masterminds. So this is a Green Ronin product. There are elements of kind of ideas that are in True 20 and in Blue Rose and in Mutants and Masterminds. But True 20 was and it was just a D20. That's the only die you use. And so, trying to figure out the things you would normally use the other dice for, which are pretty much just damage effects from weapons and spells. It's just there's a different kind of damage track that's all based on how well you roll with your D20 check to make an attack. So it was very flexible. I played. I ran a game of Freeport as a play-by-post with True 20, and had a couple other times where I played in True 20, mostly online, mostly by play-by-post, but I've tried it in other times as well at the table. And so that's kind of I don't not you don't hear a lot of people talking about it. I think there may be more people who know about it. I don't know if it's so obscure that nobody's heard of it, but it's certainly not one that you see a lot of people saw a lot of people playing or talking about it. That was just sitting on the shelves everywhere you went. So yeah, True 20 and Fighter Mage. I can't remember if it's called Fighter Mage Thief or Fighter Mage Rogue. I'm not going to look it up. You can Google it if you're that interested. But those are some obscure role playing games that I have played. Could obscure mean like difficult to understand? Oh, well, we won't get into that. That gets more into a question of, I think, probably complexity and whether the rules have been organized and written in a very digestible format for the people who are going to be playing the game, so that it's clear that you clearly understand what you're supposed to be doing based on the designer's ideas. Role playing games can be pretty obscure if they're not well written. But again, we're focusing on the positive for RPG a Day a month, so we'll just stick with that. All right. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow to wrap it all up. I'll talk to you then. Thanks for listening to the Arcane Alienist podcast. The music you're hearing is Come and Get It by Scott Holmes Music. The cover art is by Dave Bone. Be sure to check out his stuff at ironseer.com. You can leave me a message. I have my SpeakPipe account linked to the show description. You can also send me an email at arcane.alienist@gmail.com. Just embed a voice memo, or I'll just read the text of your email during a future episode. Once again, thanks so much for listening.